All right, this is the copyright disclaimer. The copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Unfortunately, I'm here to say that necrophilia is still legal in some places.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Pickles, I get the pickles. There was me unintentionally promoting Creepcast. Yeah, I like Creepcast. Okay. I don't stink, I promise. So, you think nowadays the law would just be like, hey, don't bang corpses. Don't do that. Don't. But shocker, it's not that simple. In some U.S. states and countries, necrophilia is not illegal because they never thought to include it in the laws.
I thought you were crying for a second.
I might. Because, I think lawmakers didn't think people would be out there raw dogging dead people. Instead, they usually charge it under abuse of a corpse, tampering with remains. Oh my God, so every time we hear that in the States, tampering with remains and abuse with the corpse, that means some of them are just getting it with it. Some raw dog and the dead dude ladies. And sometimes just trespassing. That's a fun one. For trespassing on my dead body with your penis or vagina. It's not wrong. And in other places, it's still considered a gray zone unless it's actually proven for sexual gratification. Because apparently you can slip and fall on a dead person. Or on. It's accidental sometimes, apparently. In Thailand, a man who did it was fined $10. Yep. And in Russia, it wasn't outlawed until 2013. Moral of the story. Some people are legally getting more action than some of us that are alive. Yep.
Studies on men will like pop an erection while they're dead, but after they've been dead for a while.
Is that why so many like morticians are female?
The necrophilia in more female morticians is crazy.
Is it real?
Yes, actually, it's like a big thing. I'm glad you brought this up. So yeah, because you know how I watch all my crime shows and shit, right? So necrophilia is like super known for women, and a lot of the times it's women that work with dead bodies, and there's women that will like try to impregnate themselves with a dead body.
That's wild.
Isn't that crazy? The things you learn, absolutely insane.
So white men are fucking little children and animals, and white women are fucking little children, animals, and corpses, and both groups engage in incest. All you snow bunny hunters who are competing with corpses. And this is not something I ever thought I would say. Niggas out here competing with dead hard dicks on cold metal slabs. This is crazy.
Arrested this morning after a DNA test revealed that her newborn child was the result of a necrophiliac intercourse with a man she was supposed to autopsy. Jennifer Burrows, an assistant pathologist with the Jackson County Medical Examiner Services, is accused of having sex with dozens of corpses over the course of the last 2 years, a behavior which led the birth of a baby boy on January 7th. According to the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department, her baby is the son of a man who died in a car accident in March 2017 and whose body she was supposed to autopsy. They allege that Ms. Burrows sexually abused more than 60 other dead bodies, belonging to males aged from 17 to 71 years of age. She is facing a total of 158 charges, including indecent treatment of a corpse, disorderly conduct, indecent exposure and possession of illegal drugs.
Giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rahahakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching me this 100% truth. Salutations to them and my fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners, and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Ayashar Barazar from the Indianapolis branch of the Great Millstone, coming back at you with another lesson that is edifying to the elect body of the nation of Israel. And, man, just when you thought that this devil could not get any worse, you know, Esau, he just got to fucking go. Having sex with dead bodies, you know, and one woman was impregnated by one. Gee whiz, just no respect for nothing. You know, we thought it was bad when you desecrated Jake's body after you hung him, lynched him, killed him, you know, doing horrible things to his body. But this just takes the cake. All right. This is the book of Job, chapter 30, verse 8, and it reads, "They were children of fools, children with no judgment. Yea, children of base men, the lowest in society. They were viler than the earth, and now I am their song." Yeah, these people are ruling over us. You know, and as each day goes by, we become more and more vexed. Like, how did this poor excuse for a person, for a nation, be leading over folks that have pretty much, built the planet up? All right. He says they were viler than the earth. Let's get that word vile. This is the Edamon Online. It means morally repugnant, morally flawed, corrupt, wicked. And who are we talking about? Esau, Edom, who is the wicked, the so-called white man, according to Malachi 1:4. Of no value, of inferior quality, disgusting, foul, ugly, degrading, humiliating, of low estate, without worldly honor or esteem. All right. Let's slide down here. It says shameful, dishonorable, low-born, cheap, ugly, hideous, cheap, worthless, base, common. All right. Man, just, awful human beings. I mean, who does that? Sleeping with a dead person. Even though like the lady said in one video, in another video, that a man can have an erection even when he's deceased. All right. And on a side note to you women, that think you are the prize. I once said, a man's seed expires when he does. Obviously not. Yet your womb expires while you live. Getting a person pregnant after they're already declared dead. I mean, no, we're not equals, men and women. All right, but that's another whole other thing. But these people, man, just have no character. It says morally repugnant, morally flawed, corrupt, wicked, of no value, of inferior quality. And that's exactly what they are. To mess with a dead body. It wasn't too long ago, did a video on a lawyer that was, having sex with his dogs. There's been multiple videos of that. One recently here, a woman, sexually assaulted a dog. In the same book of Job, in the first verse, he said he wouldn't even want his dogs to sit by him. It says Job 30 in verse 1. But now they that are younger than I, insignificant, have me in derision. We're in a flux under this devil. All right. He's just wicked. And we have to stand idly by and watch it. All right. It says, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. And that's what Esau does. He has sex with dogs. And now we see with corpses. Damn. There's no respect. All right. And you're not supposed to touch a dead body, or you become defiled. Let me get that in Numbers. There's a few scriptures. Now, although this applies to the Israelites, when we're in the kingdom, according to Isaiah chapter 2, they're going to have to keep our laws, statutes, and commandments. So it's not right now, but eventually they're going to have to conform to them or be destroyed. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 19, beginning at verse 11. And there's a couple of them here. It says, he that toucheth the dead body of a man shall be unclean 7 days. All right. And there's a purification process, but just for the purpose of this lesson, just letting you know, there's a price when you deal with a deceased person. All right, verse 13 says, whosoever toucheth the dead body of any man that is dead, and purify not himself, defileth the tabernacle of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and that soul shall be cut off from Israel. Yeah, be killed. All right. Because the water of separation was not sprinkled upon him, he shall be unclean. His uncleanness is yet upon him. All right. And that's not a good thing. When you speaking to Israelites, when you're trying to get into the kingdom, you're trying to be spotless. All right. But yeah, you're not supposed to touch a dead body. And once again, this is for the Israelites, but hey, they're going to have to keep our laws, statutes, and commandments in the kingdom. That's just the way it is. All right? That's just the way it is. They're going to have to keep our laws, statutes, and commandments. All right? Because we would be in rulership. And if they don't keep them, what's going to happen? This is Isaiah 60 and verse 12. Come. It says, for the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. And Esau, Edom, you're going to be the number one nation that's going to be wasted. Because you can't learn righteousness, according to Isaiah 26 and 10. Let me read this again. Isaiah chapter 60, verse 12. It says, for the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly destroyed. And that's what you got to look for, Esau, so-called white man. Utter destruction. A nation no longer in existence. That's what you're looking for. That's what you're looking at. What's coming to you for stuff like this. All right? You are going to be destroyed. Okay? Messing with dead bodies. That's so damn disrespectful, but that's just the way you are. All right? That's just the way you are. That's the way the Lord made you. All right? Let me get that. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 33. And starting at verse 10. All right? It says, and all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of the earth. In much knowledge the Lord hath divided them and made their ways diverse. See, there's a difference between a wicked man and a righteous man. The wicked being Esau, Edom, and the righteous man being Jacob, whose name was later changed to Israel. So yes, they definitely have diverse ways. Verse 12, some of them hath he blessed and exalted, and some of them hath he sanctified and set near himself. That's his elect. Okay. But some of them hath the curse and brought low, hath he cursed and brought low, and turned out their places. All right. Driven you away from home. Verse 13, as the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him, to render to them as liketh him best. All right. It says, good is set against evil. That's Jacob versus Esau. And life against death. Again, Jacob versus Esau. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. All right. That's that balance. It says, so look upon all the works of the Most High, and there should be two and two, and one against another. All right. So that's pretty straightforward. But this is the devil that we deal with, and we got to live with them until this is over, subject to his wrath that's coming right now, according to Revelation 12 and 12. Just, systematically wiping Jake's accomplishment out of all history. That's okay. He don't have much long on this earth. And, the prophets know this. We definitely know this. And, it's going to be over for him. It's going to be over for him because of his wickedness. All right. This is, let's see, which one was I looking for? Salakia, bear with me. Had that scripture in mind. Oh, we was talking about the men and the women. This is Psalms chapter 109. And again in verse 13. And it reads, let his posterity be cut off. And posterity is from the progenitor of a nation to that progenitor's furthest descendant. And this progenitor in this case is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. So eventually you will be eliminated out of the earth. It says, let his posterity be cut off, and in the generation following, let their name be blotted out. So Edom is going to no longer exist once we take the kingdom back. It says, let the iniquity of his fathers be remembered with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You can best believe he has forgotten. We know the Lord hasn't. The Lord is real pleased with what's about to happen to some of these areas. That's happening with 2/3 of our people, and how the curses are flipping on Esau Edom, the so-called white man, which is what we're talking about right here. It says, let the iniquity of his fathers be remembered with the Lord. Okay. The Lord says you have to give account for every idle word, whether it be bad or whether it be good. It says, and let not the sin of his mother be blotted out. Yeah. Those women were messing with dogs, bestiality. Now they messing with dead corpse, as indicated in a second video that I put in, as well as the last one. Okay, the videos before this lesson. All right. And it says, because that he remembered not to show mercy, but persecuted the poor and needy man, that he might even slay the broken in heart. Oh, I'll skip that. Verse 15, Salakia. It says, let them be, that's both Edomite male and woman. Let them be before Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai continually, that he may cut off the memory of them from earth. And that's just what's going to happen. Okay? That's just what's going to happen. We have 4 prophecies left. Okay? 4 prophecies. That's World War III, which is brewing very quickly. All right. Then you have the MOTB, or the mark of the beast. Okay. You got a destruction that's coming, and then the salvation. You know, we're going to be in our natural states. You know, kings and priests. You know, immortal with spiritual powers. That's what we're going to be like in that day. All right. So yeah, Esau, you have something to look forward to. You know, the worst asshole, ass whooping. Yeah, he's an asshole too. The worst ass whooping ever in history. All right. But in righteousness, by the hand of the Lord's people. Jacob, you know, all 12 tribes. Yeah, you got to pay for stuff like this. You know, talking about you a Christian. You don't know what that means. All right. Besides, it was the disciples who were Israelites that were first called Christians in Antioch. Okay. That's Acts chapter 26 and 28. All right. Or I believe 11 and 26, lock it. 11 and 26. Let me go ahead and grab that. Acts 11 and 26, I said, yeah. Start at verse 25. Then departed Barnabas to Saul to seek Salakia. Then departed Barnabas to Tarsus to seek for Saul. And when he had found him, he brought him unto Antioch. And it came to pass that a whole year they had assembled themselves with the church and taught much people. And the disciples, who were Israelites, were called Christians first in Antioch. All right, verse 28. And in these days came prophets from Jerusalem and Antioch. All right, so pretty straightforward on that. But yeah, this devil, you know, he's got to go, man. He's got to go. You know, this wickedness is unbelievable. You know, we just have to sit back and watch it. You know, we know it's him. This is the book of Job, chapter 21. And I'm going to start at verse 29. Khan. It says, have ye not asked them that go by the way? And do ye not know their tokens? Whose tokens? The signs of Israel. Okay. You know, when I say Israel, talking about Amalek and then also the rest of Edom, the so-called white man. All right. The scriptures tell us exactly what you're going to do. And you've been doing it in all wickedness. Verse 30, that the wicked is reserved unto the day of destruction, and they shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. So yeah, the Lord has not forgot everything that you've done. He has not forgotten. His eyes are all over the place. Okay. Recording everything that we've done, you know, and that he's done. And it is like said in the scriptures, he will not acquit the wicked. All right. So yeah, this devil has got to go. You know, you messing with dead people, man. Gee whiz. All right. Well, it says, you know, the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction, and that day is at hand. And they shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. Yeah. Swooping y'all up because you'll be the first fruits of slaveries. All right. Verse 31. Who shall declare his way to his face? The prophets. And who shall repay him what he have done? The prophets. Okay. The first half of that question. Who shall declare his way to his face? This is Isaiah 13 and 2. It says, lift ye up a banner. That's a sign, that's these scriptures, upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, saying, shake the hand. That's rebuking them, okay? That they may no more know that they may go into the gates of the nobles. Okay, let me read that again. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, rebuker, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. All right. So yeah, that's how we're doing it, putting these scriptures out there. Let me go back to that. Where was I? Job. Yeah. Yeah, that was it. Job. Yeah. Was it 21 and 30? 29. Yeah, that says that the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction, that shall be brought forth in the day of wrath. Verse 31. Who shall declare his way to his face? The prophets. Okay. It says, and who shall repay him what he have done? It's the children of Israel. For the stuff that Esau, Edom has done. Let me prove that. This is Obadiah. Is that Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 18. It says, and the house of Jacob, the northern kingdom, shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. All right. House of Jacob being the southern kingdom, Salakia, said that before, being the southern kingdom, and the house of Joseph, the northern kingdom, being a flame, and the house of Esau, the so-called white man, which includes the small hats, all right, for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has spoken it. All right. So yeah, for all of y'all's wickedness, no hope for you now. None whatsoever. You guys have to take this L. All right. There's nothing you could do about it. Okay, so with that, I hope this lesson was edifying to the elect body of the nation of Israel. Once again, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone who grew well in teaching me this 100% truth. Salutations to them and my fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also, salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be like it to the speckled bird, as well as the Israelite foreigner. To you, I say Shalom, Kwam Yasharallah, Abba Shalom.